Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to go over Tuller Lane Roundabout. I wanted to go through a couple of things with you regarding this roundabout. The first thing I want to kind of just show you what you and I are supposed to be doing, or how you're going to pass your test doing it anyway. What you're supposed to be doing and what you can do are two different things in Bradford, but suppose it is what it is. Okay, so first of all, we're in Bradford, West Yorkshire. We're at Heaton Test Centre. So generally speaking, this is one of the hardest roundabouts you're ever gonna come across on your driving test in Heaton. There are lots of roundabouts in this city. There are lots of roundabouts that you will do in Bradford in Heaton Test Centre. But the two that I hate as an instructor and as a driver are these. I absolutely hate this roundabout. I hate this roundabout for two reasons. I hate it because nobody does what they're supposed to be doing, and nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And it's important that you have some sort of idea as to what's going on and why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple of things with you regarding this roundabout. The things that I want to go through with you, I'm trying to find a place to park and it's almost impossible. I'm going to go through a couple of things so we all understand this roundabout. So first of all, this roundabout is a kidney shaped roundabout. So it's not round. So a roundabout is, you can hear that, can't you? This is just Bradford. A roundabout is round, so you'd assume. But not every roundabout is round. Some of them are oblong, rectangular. Some of them are weirder shapes. It depends on how you interpret it. In Leeds, in Scotland, we have some roundabouts that are rectangular as well. And one of them is in Alwoodley. It's on your Horsforth test route. Now, this roundabout, there's a couple of things you need to understand. A lot of people slide across the roundabout. So they start in lane 1 and slide into lane 2. It's very intentional. Sometimes it's like the safest thing, according to them, for them to kind of have like optimal sort of viewing angles. So for them it's safest because they don't like people popping out on them, and they assume that it's easier for them to turn or to make effective observation. So, you know, you've got to watch out for them, and then you've got to drive the car like you normally would drive it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over this roundabout from a couple of junctions. It's very busy this morning, so I'm going to struggle to make lots of turns, and I'm trying to work out which is the quickest way and easiest way of doing it. Now, there's a lot of gasworks in this city, so what they do, they block lanes off. So you'll find some lanes are blocked for whatever reason. Now, roundabouts in this area, the hardest one is Tuller Lane Roundabout, which is that one there. The rest of them are quite easy, but they're quite compact. To give you an idea of what I mean, we're going to approach that roundabout from a different angle now. The road seems to be blocked from this side. So on your driving test, the road that I'm on now, this is Duckworth Lane. Now, what you must do if you're taking lessons in this area, you need to start understanding what lanes and what roads you're on. Now, if you feel like an idiot and you don't want to ask your instructor, read the sat-nav. The sat-nav tells you the road that you're actually on. Start to understand where you are, because it's the only way you're going to understand where you're going. It's as simple as that. So when I approach that roundabout, I mean, there's only four exits on that roundabout anyway. 4? Yeah, there's 4. So it's important that you understand how these roundabouts work. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick off this roundabout from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn left at this roundabout here. So I'm turning left here, and then I'm going to approach these two mini roundabouts at the bottom of this road. Just want to try and get out this area so it becomes a bit easier. I am going to do some very detailed videos and descriptions of roundabouts. I'm currently in the process of doing that, but work and family life kind of thing comes before my videos. So at the bottom of this road there's 2 roundabouts. Now the instruction your examiner may give you will be, at the roundabout take the first exit left and then ahead at the second roundabout, which would effectively mean a glorified left turn. Personally, right now I'm going to do a right turn. So if I'm going to do a right turn at this roundabout, I only need to give way to my right, but I also need to give way to anyone ahead of me that is turning right. Why? Because they're on my right, and it's something that you'll miss. Now if somebody's faster than me, they'll pull off and your examiner will hit your brakes. So it's important that you start looking around at these roundabouts and start looking at who's on your right, where they've come from and where they're going. So here I'm going to turn right at this roundabout. Now the only real traffic that comes towards you is from your right, and it's quite fast. So I've done my mirror checks, I've signalled, I'm very close to this line. I'm referring to the divide line on the right. Now in terms of these roundabouts here, there's like a few roundabouts in close proximity of each other. There's these 2, there's one at the end of this road, and then there's a small one, and then you come across Toller Lane roundabout. What I'm trying to do is trying to let this traffic ease off so I can get to that roundabout and give you a couple of turns, so it answers the young lady's email. So here I'm looking to my right, and I can see from here to my right, and there's a car coming. That means I'm going to stop. Now there's a silver car ahead of me as well, so I'm looking to my right, I'm looking at what he's doing, and he's not turning. I'm looking to my right, I'm going round the roundabout, and I'm looking where I'm going, looking in my mirrors as I'm coming off. I didn't need to signal to exit the roundabout. Now it's important that when you're approaching that roundabout that you're focusing on where you're going and also looking around, just in case somebody is not going round the roundabout and they're going over the roundabout. Now going over a roundabout is quite normal in this area and in Leeds. It's very, very normal. So it's important that when you're going round a roundabout that you understand what you're doing. So now I'm going to make a lane change, check my mirrors, signal right, blind spot check, there's nobody going around me, speed limit here is 30, I'm doing 28. Now on your driving test you will be asked to do a right turn at this roundabout in Bradford going back to Heaton test centre. So I'm doing 29 miles an hour, I've got my speed healthy. Now I want to move back into the lane on the left, but if I move back into it now I'm going to get boxed in. So I'm looking, there's no further cars parked in the lane on the left. So I check my mirrors, signal left, I check my blind spot as I'm coming in, I observe the sign telling me the road's narrowing. So I'm looking in my right door mirror, there's nobody coming into my lane. So here I'm going to turn right at the roundabout. If I'm turning right here on the roundabout, I'd advise you to pause. So I'm looking at the floor markings, I'm in the correct lane. Now I'm going to go over some of this roundabout to prove my point. Why am I going to go over it? Because I need to. So I'm slowing down a little, let this trailer man turn. Now I had to go over half of that roundabout. And that's where the argument comes in, where people go round roundabouts or go over them. So it's important that when you're driving your car, when you approach a roundabout, that you assess what you're doing and understand whether you need to go over the roundabout, whether it's reasonable to, or whether it's unreasonable. I'm now going to approach another roundabout. This roundabout that I'm approaching, I'm going to go ahead. Now here you need to watch out for buses. The speed that this car's travelling at, it's a little slow. He's doing about 16. Now we can see the mini roundabout sign ahead of us. And we can see that there's no buses, nobody's signalling, but it doesn't mean that they're not turning. So keep your speed appropriate when you're approaching. Be prepared to stop. Now we can see a taxi turning, and the taxi is going to go over the roundabout. I'm deliberately waiting here, just want to see what he does. Now this young lady should have been signalling and she's not. And you see how this car's just gone over the roundabout. It was reasonable for him to go over the roundabout. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of held back, just to kind of show you that. Because he's a larger vehicle. So it was reasonable for him to go over that roundabout. So conventionally, you'd expect him to go round the roundabout, but it wasn't possible for him. So if it's not possible for you to go round the roundabout, you're not expected to go fully round the roundabout, but do as much as you possibly can, reasonably can. So now I'm approaching Toller Lane roundabout. As I'm approaching the roundabout, I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, I'm going to take the first exit left. Now the first exit left at that roundabout would be up Toller Lane. So that would take me back to the test centre, and that's exactly what you'd be doing on this road going back towards the test centre. There's two options they give you, there's two options that they have, and that would be to turn left up Toller Lane or to go ahead past Bradford School of Motoring, other motoring schools are available, or up Toller Lane. And that's our finest, giving people tickets. So we heard the discussion there regarding how people park their cars and drive, etc. near the school. Yet Bradford Council focus on easy targets, and that's to stop people coming into hospitals. But that's an argument for another day. So now as I'm approaching these traffic lights, they've been on green for a long time, and because they've been on green I need to make sure that I'm prepared to stop. So I look behind me and the car's a fair distance away, so if I did have to stop, it's pretty safe. I'm looking at the bus. There's another 5 people getting on that bus. I can see that lady just standing up. That means the bus is not going to move off. That's a clue as to how you understand how buses move. So I need to move into the lane with L cross. I check my mirror, signal left, I'm going to do a lane change. Looking in my left door mirror again, coming to my left lane. Now I'm going to turn, in fact, I'm going to turn left here. So check my mirror, signal left. Now I only need to watch out for cars in the right hand side lane of this roundabout, which are there. And now this car's just gone across the lane. I don't know what he's doing. And I'm watching the learner car as well. And I straighten my car. There's a line I've got to stop at, and I come to a gentle stop. So when you're approaching that roundabout and you're taking the first exit or the second exit, you stay in lane 1, and you only need to give way to the lane closest to the inside of the roundabout, and they have an option of coming here where we are, or going towards Lilycroft, the old police station. See, the problem is in this sort of area, it's very difficult to give you a lesson on roundabouts when you're stopping every 2 minutes. And you're just stuck in traffic, and traffic management is quite poor here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the car around and give you an idea